Um. So, welcome everybody, and guess we'll start off by doing we have our roll call, which we have to do it by person because we have some on Zoom, I guess. So we'll start with Trevor, you the only committee member on Zoom, it looks like it.
Hello.
There. Okay, and then Ava, here, Bill,
Here.
Jessica, here, me, I'm here, Monica, here, Kathy.
I'm here.
Okay, so we have everybody here, and as guests, we have Elizabeth, Island Fellow, Peter from the Select Board, and we have Sky Butterson Dunn. Hello, Sky, and we'll introduce her more a little bit later. She's our partner with the Island Institute. So, first order of business is approval of the minutes. Did everybody get to the minutes from last month?
Yes, I brought up some small editorial changes,
Okay.
Carrie, they're just numbers and, abbreviations, and so, I just wanted everyone to know that those changes will.
And I had a question about the roll call voting that you did by email on the Knollwood recommendation. I don't know if you saw my.
Was there somebody
I know I
else?
did, yeah.
In the group thread, I only counted 6 people and you said that there were 8 in favor. So they might
have to
have,
go back.
they might have replied to you directly and not to the group.
Okay,
email.
I'll have to go back and look. I don't remember.
Yeah, so I'll need those names.
Okay. All right, do we have, oh, and Janice is now here also. So.
I
do we have
move we accept the minutes as amended by Bill.
second? Okay. All right, so we have to have a roll call vote. Trevor, in favor?
Aye.
Ava? Yeah, I know. Bill?
Aye, yes.
Jessica?
Yes.
Me, yes. Monica?
Yeah.
Kathy?
Yes.
Okay. I've done that.
Did Janice vote on?
Yes.
Oh, on the minutes, okay. So moving on to project updates. Monica, do you have anything on the fire station?
I do not. I actually sent an email to you and Bill shortly after our meeting last month, and I was waiting for a response.
I
Turned
don't remember
out,
seeing that.
on my fault, it went into my draft folder. So I was confused.
That can be
about it.
spacey, but I didn't see
No,
it.
it was 100% my fault. I do apologize. I've also been running back and forth to Portland for medical appointments. So I can pick it up this
Okay.
evening and start reaching out if you'd like me to. So
Let me
I
know
know
if
you
you need
reached
help.
out to somebody, cause.
Maybe you'll
Shannon said,
respond to
"Why
the
is
real
Monica,
email?"
You know, asking about the Up Island, contacting people about the Up Island Garage. I said, it's not the Up Island Garage.
No, I wasn't contacting anyone about the Up Island Garage.
No, I
The only thing I spoke about towards someone was Josh Leach about speaking about what we as the committee would like to do for the Up Island
Yeah.
Garage. I wasn't,
Oh, okay.
I don't know where that telephone.
Oh, I know, I
thing
said, no, I
went.
said you were contacting people about or might have been contacting people about
Yes,
this fire station. And she was
I'll
fine.
send
She
her-
was fine with that.
I'll send her an email to keep her in the loop of what I'm doing,
Okay.
so it's direct.
Okay. The health center solar, I could just go ahead, we are in the process of looking at doing a ground array. We did get one proposal from
Sundog.
Sundog, which, and I have to verify with Brian how much money we have available for that. And it looks doable, but we are required by law to solicit bids and do a formal RFP and get the bids from other vendors as well. So, we'll have to proceed with all of that. Any other comments on that? Oh, Holly is not here. The EV chargers, we did sign a contract for the $5,800. I think we talked about that last, they're not in yet, but hopefully that will get done soon. Okay. Moving on, the community event planning, you're meeting tomorrow?
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
nothing to add on that. So window dressers debrief, yeah, go
Go
ahead.
back to the planning committee,
Yeah, oh yeah,
one of the ideas, that just came up in a meeting with Elizabeth and Candace and I for the, Island Fellow is, possibly participating in the, ICC Christmas Fair, which would be from 10 to 2, and do you remember if it's Saturday or Sunday? 13th. The 13th, so that's a Saturday. And one of the ideas that was, brainstormed was, maybe this could be an opportunity to start a community buy for insulation, so we're gonna talk about that tomorrow. But, if we need money for supplies out of some of the prizes and grants that we got, we'll just need an email vote after we have specifics, because we don't have specifics right now.
yeah, I think. Kreska, we can use, I mean, depending on the amount, of course, some of the prize money for that.
Yeah.
That we have left.
Yeah.
Okay,
So I'm not sure what direction we'll go, whether we'll just take orders and then do it later, but it's probably a good opportunity to get the DIY weatherization team going again, and maybe it'll tie into some of the stuff that Elizabeth's doing, because we'll have like current before and after with certain projects, so it's a good opportunity if we can figure out how to do it by December.
Okay.
Yeah, and might, because of the fact that families oftentimes come to that event, might bring in some people, apropos of Holly's discussion about people who feel a little bit out of the loop.
Good point.
Yeah.
Yeah,
good point.
good point.
Okay. Window dressers debrief, the window dressers, build is complete except for some of the windows which still don't have foam. We need to get more foam. Trevor, do you wanna, have anything to report back on the whole thing?
Yeah, window dressers was very responsive with the request for additional foam. The production manager actually came down to the ferry terminal and handed it to someone in line, and I was able to pick it up. It was on the ferry today, like the 3:30 ferry. So we have 5 new rolls, 2 rolls to complete the 130 feet worth of windows that we still have to wrap, and then 3 rolls for the community members that wanted rolls to wrap themselves.
Does you think 2 rolls will be enough for the remaining windows?
It should
That's
be
the-
70 per roll, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it'll be in.
Yeah, I told her the numbers, and that's what she came back with.
We
So-
can retain one of the rolls to be sure, like there's 2 that are fully going to other people, and then there's one that we're going to use to rewrap some of Bonnie's.
Yeah, my plan is to rewrap the windows before we give out the rolls.
Right, okay.
And then we have the materials for the window dressers, like the build components. Those go back on the 13th of November is when Dylan is able to take them back, and so they'll just be in the corner of the ICC until then.
Okay. So it feels like it was a successful event. I think we won't do it again next year because we didn't quite meet the minimum for a build from their standpoint is 150. They allowed us to go ahead with 123, I think we had. And so just given the size of the community, there probably wouldn't be enough demand to do it again next year. But maybe in a couple of years. Any other thoughts or feedback about the dressers?
Yeah, thanks everyone for volunteering, for stepping up and working the stations. Thank you, Harriet, so much for doing a lot of almost all of the measuring going into it. I'm really glad we were able to hit our number and still do the build.
Yeah, I wasn't the only one. I mean, others did a bunch of measuring as well. Hopefully they fit. That's always a tough one, when they don't.
Harriet,
Mhm.
for popularization of this, as a follow-up. Might be, we have a cold snap coming, people's heat will be turning on, might be a good idea to take a picture with the IR camera of windows without the inserts and windows with the inserts. And just put that up on the website somewhere sometime.
I've done that. It's hard to do because of the reflectivity.
Of the what, reflective heat?
Yeah, reflectivity. It's hard to get angled right to make it clear.
But not impossible.
I'll try it again, but.
I'm happy to try.
Like with the infrared camera?
Yep,
I've done it on my own house. I don't see a problem.
do it.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, that would be nice, it'd be a nice visual to have.
And what would you do with it? Put it on Facebook or?
Whatever you do to popularize on the website, Facebook, I don't know. We're trying to work on outreach,
Maybe at
right?
one of our events when we're,
Yeah.
you know, like putting up the poster board like Monica did, or put on something like that.
Well, if we go to the fair, it would be a nice poster for there.
Mhm.
But what about a newspaper article?
Yeah, that's another option.
If the pictures would show.
Yeah, he does
Uh-oh.
color, he does a lot of color pictures.
It would reach summer residents as well, because a lot of people receive the newspaper, and it's an online newspaper too with the students.
All right. So moving on, I mean, everybody here has heard that we.
Let's I think that those are great ideas in terms of like writing up for the newspaper. Can we get like an action item for that or a signed follow-up? I'm willing to try writing it up and giving it to Dan.
Right.
I have some photos of the day, Trevor.
Meeting.
Okay. even
Yeah, yeah, Candace asked me and I'm glad that you had them.
Well, I have some if you want to put some in the paper for our article.
Yes, yes, I
I
did.
can give her all of them. I saved some for us.
Wonderful.
If I can remember which ones are which, that'll be a whole different story.
That's the good ones.
Travis said that he would do those.
So, as I think everyone, what'd you say?
Travis said he'd do an article for the window dressing unit.
Oh, that'd be nice.
Well, I can't hear back here.
Sorry, I informed her that Travis would be doing an article for the window dresser.
He said he
event.
would do an article.
It's Trevor.
Trevor.
So sorry, Trevor. I'm so sorry.
Really?
Yeah,
Sorry. Wow.
that's all right, don't worry.
He doesn't want an identity change.
I liked the idea.
My
Travis is a lot more reliable.
Depending.
Actually, I'm gonna come back to the E-tip introduction because I'm having a little problem getting my thing to work here. So maybe Elizabeth, you could give
Sure.
us your update on.
Great. Yeah, so some updates on what I've been up to. Harriet will talk about E-tip and Islesboro's involvement, but Janice and Kreska and I went to a regional meeting hosted by Island Institute about 2 weeks ago now to talk about E-tip. And also we had window dressers. I was part of that with the build. And currently my big project I'm working on is going through residential surveys on home insulation improvements, solar energy related questions. And Kreska and Janice and I will be following up on that tomorrow. So hopefully we can start thinking about data visualizations on what people said and get information out to them on kind of a pulse check of how we're doing with energy in Islesboro and what we can do moving forward. Moving forward, I'm also hoping to follow up with Phil on the town data on how the different solar arrays are measuring how much energy they're using and how CMP fits into that. And then a project I've started working on is getting involved with the school on getting their solar data. So I've talked with Kate, the principal, and she was enthusiastic about, and also okay with her, the science teacher, about getting a project going where the middle school students are looking at the data collected theoretically through the school. Hopefully they have this data. We're kind of trying to figure out who might have the data the CMP bills.
CMP, we're talking about solar.
CMP.
CMP, you can get it from CMP, okay?
So
All
you
you
get it-
need is the password to log in and download the data, okay? But the same is true for the solar output. All you really need is the login for the website, and then you'll have all the history of the solar output.
Okay,
So just two logins, that's what you need.
awesome. Thank you.
Do you have those for us?
I do not.
Who have them?
That's a very good question. I was given all of the login data for the town, and the school was not in that
Oh,
list.
the school has their stuff.
Yeah.
Okay.
So see if we can get it through the school. Awesome. But yeah, there's interest in this. It's just a matter of getting the login information and then
Yep.
designing sort of project for them. And if ideally would be a chance for some students to come into an energy committee meeting and present to you all, to us all, their data and what they find. So that's something I'm excited about. Hopefully it keeps moving. And then I'm also looking into doing some winter programming for students and families at the ICC. We're hoping to maybe collaborate with sewing circles, some sort of like sustainable gift ideas, and
It's my fault.
some youth programming for energy, hopefully, but also just sustainability in general. And then we also were reached out to Janice and I, someone reached out to us from the school, Haley Curry, about doing an adult ed class related to energy for the winter cycle. There's a lot of opportunity there. We're trying to get a meeting together this week, as we've been trying to do for a couple of weeks, so hopefully we're able to meet soon. But I was thinking topics like electrification 101, what does that mean? What are heat pumps? Or like how to read my CMP bill and what to do with that. So if you're interested in maybe teaching a seminar, they're probably like an hour and a half classes once a week for about 6 weeks. We can tag team, we can split things up. But if you want to talk to me about that or to Janice about that, we can talk.
Yeah, Phil, we thought you might be good at that.
I don't know if I'm good at it, but I'm happy to help.
Yeah, that's all for me. Thanks.
Perfect. Okay, so now I think I'm back to where I can do my screen sharing here, so. Let's see. Do you have to? Okay. So as, now my screen sharing is paused. How do I'll resume that.
And now my screen's frozen.
What is coming up there?
Nothing yet because my screen is frozen.
My screen's not frozen.
Person's supposedly sharing.
I'm sure it is, but we just.
Oh, it's spinning.
It's a strategic planning track and, oh, there we go. So these are some slides from an introductory phone call that we had last week. But just as an overview of it, and this just introduces the project. The report from the previous go-round that we had, came up with a couple of recommendations, which again, I think you've all heard, which had to do with, first of all, improving energy efficiency on the island to reduce overall energy use and things we've been talking about, like weatherization, the window dressers falls into that, a lot of the work done on the town properties. They also proposed a longer term project of considering making the island more self-sufficient with the use of microgrids, on island production with solar arrays and perhaps other technology. And we have applied, and that was more of a concept, which was deemed to be doable. And as you know, we've applied for a couple of grants over the last year and a half where we didn't get anything, including one program that we submitted a paper to last February, which was canceled. But so this program does not provide any construction money, but does provide a way to produce a more detailed plan in order to go ahead with what we had talked about. This is just a little bit of an overview of the whole project. There are multiple places throughout the country. And we will be partnering with the Island Institute, and Sky, who is on the call today, is our representative at the Island Institute that we'll be working closely with. And then we'll also be working with engineers. There are 4 national laboratories that participate in this program across the country. We will be working with NREL, which is based in Colorado, and we had worked with them on the previous round. Interestingly, this is just a pie chart of the ETIP communities, the challenges that people face, and this will be very familiar to everybody here, because I think we hit all of these. The frequent power outages, lack of resilient infrastructure, aging infrastructure, reliance on fossil fuel delivery across the ferry, and so on. And so this is about technical assistance, and so there's a regional lead at NREL. Our regional partner is the Island Institute. There will be a technical lead from the National Laboratory who will be managing the technical component of this, and there may be other technical contributors that are brought in to help out as we go along. And this just outlines the 2 tracks. As I said, we already did the strategic energy one, and now we're on the technical deep dive. And this is a bit of an overview of how the project goes. This is the strategic planning one. So here's the deep dive. So the first segment is really all about scoping the project, getting to know the island community, understanding what the goals are, and out developing specific deliverables and expectations of the project. And the expectation is that that process is going to take a few months. And then the second half of the project will be, estimated to last for 12 to 15 months, the in-depth technical analysis. And then at the end, there will be final deliverables and recommendations. And, we hope to come out of this with a detailed plan that will enable us to be more successful when it comes to applying for funding. And along the way, we will need to be engaging the community and, trying to inform them of what this is all about, get feedback, understand the concerns of people who are not on board or may oppose some of what we're doing, so that we can have all those discussions as we go along. Again, this is just about the stages of the work that will be going on. And I can share this part with. Now, one thing that we were told is that although we have been awarded this opportunity, we are not allowed to make any public announcements, meaning any press releases or anything of that nature, until the government shutdown is over, because any press releases we produce need to be vetted by our partners to make sure that we're representing them appropriately. And but we're allowed to inform people on the island of what's happening. So Scott, so I will stop sharing now. Sky, as I said, Sky Butterson Dunn is on the call from the Island Institute, and I was wondering if you had anything you wanted to add.
Thank you, Harriet. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Yes.
Hi, everyone. It's really nice to just join in on this call. The intention of me joining was just to see what's happening. So I am the center advisor for Elizabeth from the Island Institute, and I'll be the regional partner for the Islesboro Energy Committee's ETIP group. And so, Harriet, I think you've kind of given a good overview of the project as a whole and from our kickoff call that we had last week or the week before. But as Harriet mentioned, the next stage will be the onboarding. So I've sent out an email to the core ETIP group about scheduling that. So we'll have a 2-hour in-person onboarding session just to go through the details of what the project will entail, what the timeline looks like, and start getting ready for the scoping stage. So the technical lead will be Nicholas DeForest, and he's from Lawrence Berkeley National Lab. Right now, he's also the technical lead for Brooklyn. So they are an active cohort 4 community, and they're also looking at microgrid options for their community. So it'll be nice sharing learnings from Brooklyn and applying and seeing how that could relate to Islesboro as well. Our other communities that we have for cohort 5 are Cranberry Isles, so they've moved from the strategic energy planning track into the deep dive. And then we have 2 other communities also that are starting up the strategic energy planning track, which are Belfast and Wiscasset. And so those are the communities that are actively involved in cohort 5. And yeah, I'll be the regional partner. Sort of the Island Institute's role is acting as an intermediate player between the community and our national partners. So in this case, the National Renewable Energy Lab as the regional lead, and also Lawrence Berkeley. So yeah, I'm looking forward to coming on island in the next couple of weeks and getting this process started with you all.
Great, thank you so much. And great that you were able to join us. We're looking forward to working with you also. And as I think there are several people here, I think, that have indicated an interest in being part of the team. There'll be an introductory meeting, as Sky just said, and then probably bi-weekly meetings. Now, everybody here has, their own schedules and work schedules. And so I think we had 4 or 5 people who indicated that they were interested in being part of the team. We could certainly, welcome anybody who, wants to be part of that. And I'm sure there will be tasks, things that need to be done along the way that, other people may want to take part in. Yeah, Kathy.
Have I missed responding to your request for availability for the onboarding?
I don't know. Sky was handling that. There was a
whole sent out. Yeah, I'm not sure that I don't think I saw your response, Kathleen. But the date that's looking the most suitable for folks is December 8th, which is a Monday. But I've sent out an email to everybody that was listed on that core team. So if there are any scheduling conflicts, you can just let me know directly on that email.
Okay. All right, so.
Do you have a time frame in mind?
You're talking about that as a daytime meeting, right? So
I will coordinate with Harriet specifically on what's the most suitable. We haven't decided on times yet, but that'll be hopefully by the end of the week. We'll figure out the timing as well.
Got to run a board meeting from 11 to 12:30, but otherwise I'm available all day.
Good.
Okay. Any other questions about this? I just should mention that there is $50,000, which is part of the grant. The way it's structured, it's not like a prize where you just get the money and then you can use it. There's part of this onboarding and scoping, there'll be development of deliverables. And as those are completed, then we can submit for payment. And there's a variety. It includes salaries, which, since we're all volunteers,
We can't get paid.
travel expenses if someone's going to a meeting or we're arranging a meeting, workshops if we should choose to put on something of that nature, if we need to hire a consultant outside of the laboratory, like, for example, if we needed to have a surveyor come and look at one of the sites we were thinking about, that kind of thing, we can use the money for. And so there'll be more on that to come up. So I just, on the budget, so moving on to the budget, there isn't much, I don't have much to add since we spoke last month. But I was thinking that, sometime in the next couple of months, we might want to have a work group or a work group of the committee as a whole, whatever people want to sit down and work out the details of the remaining money we have left. And also this ETIP money, how we want to spend it and what requests we want to make for the next fiscal year. And I asked Janet today, because last year I think I was a little late on doing the budget. She said she usually starts sending out budget requests in December. And, they need to be submitted, I think, by February to the select board. That's a lot to be thinking about. I also asked Janet with that in mind, what the rules were around, I think I was talking to somebody, maybe it was you, Janice, about subcommittees and work groups and public meetings. And she said that, any votes we take, of course, any decisions we make require a public vote and the full committee. In theory, all our meetings should be public. If we can figure out how to do that. I don't know that. Again, I think anything that's decisions that are made, we certainly need to vet at a full public meeting. That's
Right.
for sure.
So our work group would just be to get some ideas pulled together, and then we would recommend it to the committee to vote on.
Exactly. So, maybe go ahead, Kathy.
Well, when the town schedules their budget hearings, they just make an announcement.
Right,
And Carrie could do that on Facebook anytime we were
Right.
meeting and make sure that people know that they're welcome to attend.
right,
That makes it a public meeting, I think that's the definition.
right. Well, also making, having minutes available
Right.
for people. who
That's
want
fair.
to.
Then if we're gonna meet at my house, I don't want the public coming to my house.
In
I
the
think for-
past,
Yeah, I mean, again, I think if a few people are getting together to brainstorm ideas that are gonna come back to the committee for full vetting, I think meets the public requirement. We just don't. And but I think when it comes to talking about how we're spending money, then I think it's very important to make sure that we're open in our discussions and because it's town money that we are spending. But having said that, I probably, how do people feel about the notion of having a separate meeting to go through the details of how for the next year?
I think it's a great idea.
Yeah, I think it's not just great, I think it's necessary.
Okay, I will send out some kind of poll to find out when people are available.
Yeah, I'd like to add something to that in the sense that we have pretty much done what we were asked to do. We have worked on the municipal buildings and we have made them essentially as efficient as they're likely to be with small changes. So this represents a change in direction, a brainstorming for new work for the committee. So I think it's not just a good idea, I think it's essential.
Okay, I will send out so maybe we should meet what do people think if we meet in December? I mean, I don't know whether we'll be able to, and can come up with some proposals to present in January that to keep us on a timeline for the town. Works, yeah.
Maybe in December I don't know who would do this, but could somebody just put together like what pots of money we have?
Yeah.
And how much we have to spend, and then maybe right after New Year's, we could get together.
Yeah, that's fine. I did send out, well, I mean, the budget, sorry, I can resend it that I sent out last month. Included, so there's the prize money. And that was. Yeah, go ahead, Bill.
I don't know if I want to ask this question right now. Never mind. Let me think about it before I open my mouth.
Any other,
I just think between E-tip onboarding and the holidays, it might be a little rough to add one more big thing in
in
for
December,
me.
yeah, so January would probably be better.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna be gone at some indeterminate date, early in December until early January. There's half an attic to be insulated down in Maryland. So, I mean, I can get on a conference call. I mean, I can do Zoom, but I'm not gonna be around for about a month.
Okay.
We also are trying to plan a trip to finally go see family, depending on my son's oxygen approval or not.
Yeah,
So,
I think a lot of people are away over the holidays and. I mean, I'm gonna be away the part of February and the next couple, so I think everybody has time. So they're not, yeah. All right, we have a couple of minutes. Bill, did you wanna?
Yeah, really quickly, if you're interested, I'd like to give you an update. Well, even if you're not interested, I'll give you an update on the solar output. So this is the first month, October, in which all 4 solar arrays have been contributing to the pool of kilowatt hours stored, the bank, and have been distributed to the various accounts. And it turns out that for October, typically when the heating starts kicking in, only 2 accounts are not covered by let me start a different way. The solar arrays, all 4, have been able to cover all but 2 accounts completely in their electrical demand. Those 2 accounts are the health center, and that's because it's a medium general service an account, and we're paying the exorbitant, I shouldn't have said that, we're paying a stiff demand fee. Okay, it was over $500 in the month of $550, something like that. So the other account is the street light account, and that one will never be covered by the solar array output. It's a different type of account, and we're not set up to cover that. So all the other accounts in town are covered by the solar output thus far. Okay, so that's a good thing, and I'll keep track of when they will start dropping out as the demand goes up or the kilowatt hour use goes up, and I'll try to keep track of that, let you know. The other thing that's good news, borderline good news, we are now 7 months into the year for the health center to qualify for a small general service level account. And the two of the months, one was 19 kilowatts. One of them, October, was 18.3 kilowatts. That was our peak use. So we're bouncing around just below the 20 kilowatt threshold. And the heating season hasn't really kicked in yet, so I don't know where that's gonna go. But thus far, 7 months and counting, and we've stayed below the 20 kilowatt threshold. So let's hope it continues.
And that's to keep us from paying demand.
We have to go for a whole year to be able to ask for the small general service standing, which then gets rid of the demand per kilowatt hour charge. And it's a pretty stiff charge.
So Bill, what was, and you may not remember, but what was the gap? How many kilowatt hours between the production and the use? Do you remember?
You mean for the health center?
Yeah,
I can't give you an intelligent answer to that,
Yeah.
because we were given, 3360 kilowatt hours for generation, and we were charged, no, 3360 for use and 320 for generation, which makes no sense at all. And what I do know is that the total generation since the beginning of operation was about 1,800 kilowatts. I don't have the exact number, kilowatt hours, and that number doesn't show up anywhere. So it's the first month. I don't know exactly what's going on, and I have to find the trend that's developing. But I do intend to call CMP and see if I can get some clarification on how that's working, because the numbers just don't make any sense to me.
okay,
I didn't want to bring that up because I didn't have a good answer.
more on that to come. No, I was just thinking, in terms of. I know you've done, Fresco done a lot of this calculation about how large the ground array needs to be to. Meet the demand from the health center.
Well, we will know that better once the heating system starts kicking in and we see what the actual cost is.
Right. Okay,
Oh, and it's complicated in part by the fact that some of the electricity goes, CMP doesn't see all the electricity, it's behind the meter. So what they're reporting is not the same as what the website is reporting. So that disparity also complicates what you're doing a little bit.
okay, any other business?
If you want to, can you display that on your computer?
Display what Bill was just,
I think you just said
Yeah.
that, yeah.
Sorry, I really thought I sent it to you earlier.
oops. Yeah. This was what you just said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Um. Maybe it's a previous one. It's sent at 5:51.
Okay. Oh, I see it here, wait a sec, here. Okay, so go back to. Oops.
Oh, is it here? No,
That's it.
Oh,
This is that one, yeah. Okay. All right, that's up there.
What
This is
is
what
that?
you wanted to share, the EV
Yeah.
chargers?
This is the EV charger estimate.
Yeah.
What they discovered is they can put a sub panel installation,
Right?
and that will allow them to put on 2 chargers.
Yeah, you told us that last month.
Right, so this is the actual contract. And I don't know if we need to read this and then vote on it for the next meeting, or
Again, actually thought we already had voted on it.
did
but-
we? Okay, I've been kind of out of it, so I apologize.
Did we vote on it? No, okay, so if we didn't,
We-
I don't know if we
discussed
voted,
it
but we
in
certainly did
concept.
talk about it and we all were in agreement with the
Right.
sub panel.
okay,
I'd be happy to make a motion if we need one.
okay, go ahead.
I move that we accept the proposal that Holly has gotten from Solar Logics to put in 2 EV chargers for a total of $5,800, right?
Yes.
Okay,
I second.
okay,
I just have one question, is this gonna screw up the demand?
I mean, we're gonna have to account for that, yeah, at some point.
Okay, that's all I want to know.
Yeah,
So don't let anybody use it.
Well,
It's just a show.
we should have, we should have,
Builder.
we should have a switch on this so that we can turn it off when we choose to. We may not want to activate it right now. So
Well,
what-
it's attached to the breaker in the health center, so we can split the breaker.
Well, it should have its own breaker.
That's what I mean.
Okay, all right, good. So that way we don't turn it on. Yeah, nobody needs to know about it just yet. We don't turn it on just yet.
That's my jersey for me.
all right, so, Right,
Something else about demand, because this is important.
yeah.
The health center can do things to lower the demand. Let's imagine they go in at 9 o'clock. I don't know what time they go in, but let's imagine,
We still
One
have to.
second. We have a motion on the.
oh, sorry,
Okay.
thank you, sorry.
Okay, is, starting online, so Trevor, are you still online?
He's not.
He's not, okay, so, Janice,
Yes.
Holly,
Yes.
Ava,
Yep.
Bill,
Yes,
Jessica?
Yep.
Me, yes, Monica?
Yes.
Kathy?
Yes.
Okay, so we now have on record, we have voted to go ahead with this. Um. And, yeah, I don't know exactly when that will get done.
right, can I say this thing about the health center?
Yeah.
If they all go in at 9 o'clock and all turn on the lights and turn on their computers at the same time, the demand will surge. It will last for 5 minutes, but it will knock us over the monthly limit like that. So what we ought to do is talk to the people in the health center about the way in which to turn on and turn off things throughout the day so that I don't know if we should, but it's a suggestion that we consider doing this. Because if they would just turn on things at different times, then it would have an impact upon the demand. Okay, so end of story.
Yeah, that might be tough.
But it is the kind of thing that they can learn to do, and it has a big impact.
I'm not sure I quite understand, so the booting up, in other words, is the demand.
It's more about like the major energy demand systems.
Takes a
like
surge of electricity to
and
do
stuff,
that.
when they come in and turn on the heat pumps.
Yes. It's not a coffee pot, okay?
Yeah. Because I mean, I don't quite understand how that would help, because they're gonna have to boot up their computers one way or another.
But if every one of them turns on with a surge at the same time, they all take current more at the beginning than when they're
Right.
running. Okay, if it all happened at once, the demand would peak for a short period of time, and that would be our monthly allotment. That would throw us over the threshold.
So if they
Even
wait.
if it's just for a like
Yeah,
5
it
minute
doesn't
period.
matter.
Basically,
It's the highest point in the month
yeah.
for demand at one time is
Okay.
what they
Any
measure.
fraction of a second, in fact.
Okay, I get
Yeah.
it.
So if they have like a rolling log on for the heat pumps and the
Right.
computers.
Yeah, so basically what we have to do is we have to look at their demand profile and identify where the peak is, so we're not telling
Yes.
them to do something that doesn't make any sense. So we will.
Yeah, of course, but I mean, that is, we haven't talked about that before, and it is a consideration that we need to think about it.
And it would save the town money.
Yeah.
A lot of money.
Yeah.
And the same with the town office.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're not quite on the verge yet with the town office, but we might be over the winter.
What about motion sensor lighting?
What did you say, Monica?
Can't hear you.
Sorry,
No,
so what about motion sensor lighting?
because that's gonna boot up at the same time as they walk through the office.
Yeah, but the lighting is not a huge demand. LED lights something.
Sorry, it was a joke.
We need to get some.
Sorry, we're all just too serious.
When the ETIP regional meeting happened and we did the, when we hosted it over here, we went to PYY, and PYY has a battery from Pica maybe? Anyway, that battery was programmable to avoid any demand charges. So when they turn things on, it comes out of the battery and then the battery recharges slowly, so.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
So
Yeah.
if we were able to get the demand profile, we'd be able to see whether or not a battery would be able to serve that purpose. Or do we need to have some sort of behavioral
Right.
intervention?
Right.
But we do need to find that out right away, because we need to make the RFP for the solar array and decide how much money would go
Yeah.
to a battery vis-a-vis how much money will go to the solar, because the biggest cost right now is that demand charge.
So can we get the profile?
Yes and no. If I remember correctly, I could be wrong about this, okay? But my recollection is that the small general service doesn't provide you access to the demand profile. Whereas the medium general service does. Now, I could be wrong about that, but that's, I think, what I encountered at the ICC. We lost the opportunity to look at the demand profile when we went to the small general service category. So it would behoove us to do this soon for the health center, where we're already in the medium category.
How do we do that?
Well, we just log on to the website and go to that function.
Okay.
I haven't done it in about 3 years, but it's not that complicated. We ought to be able to do it.
Okay.
So have you given Elizabeth the password for CMP?
No.
So it would be good for her to get that, so
Okay, but what I told Elizabeth is that I'm not authorized to give her the password.
Janet has okayed it.
Then I can give you the password, sure.
Okay. All right,
One
So-
other
go ahead.
question, which might be moot. And I haven't talked to, well, I've talked to people, but not people in here in a meeting. If we are going towards helping the community, and I'm still on that high horse about battery backup, there are a lot of opportunities to actually purchase batteries that would be able to handle that first load.
Mhm.
And then through the day, they could, disconnect
Sure.
or whatever. And then once we've gotten that handled, we could actually use those battery backups for people in the community that don't have them. Kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
a library.
Yeah.
You sign out like a book, you sign this out.
Well, that's one of the reasons I suggested we
Yeah.
try to get a demo that we could play with.
But we might be able to do it by ordering, because right now, a lot of companies like Anchor and EcoFlow are having sales because of Black Friday, and you save when you buy like in bulk. And bulk is like 3 or more.
Oh.
So it might be an opportunity for us to use the extra money that we didn't use for the EV charger to make a small purchase and put some of those,
Yeah. But Cressida's points,
including put them in the health center for the heat pumps and the computers.
but those are hardwired.
Yeah, they're hardwired on a
Yeah.
battery management system that
Okay.
requires sophisticated software for, yeah.
So the computers are also hardwired.
No, they just plug into a wall.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, but the heating system, you'd have to cut into the feed to that.
Right, but it would be one less thing that we have to worry about. If we could just focus on the heating system and not the computers.
Oh, yeah, we don't have to really worry about the computers. The key is, it's the overall, like, the battery management system will be able to sense the overall load in the building because it'll be
That's a good
connected.
question.
It will be able to because it will be connected to the circuit box
Okay.
directly, so it'll be able to see the entire
So wait,
load.
is this in existence already, or is it going in, or are we thinking about it?
It's a consideration that we can write into the RFP as an alternative and see what the
Ah,
cost
okay.
might be. Yeah.
That would be a real plus. If you can, that just spreads out. I mean, it just spreads out the demand over a period of time.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, any other business?
So people are not nervously looking at their energy use all the time.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it's a no-brainer. if We can get it to work.
Yeah.
Oh, $550 was a demand fee for last month for the health center. Okay, that will buy a battery or come close to
Oh,
it.
yeah.
I mean, it won't buy a big one, but it'll buy a battery, so that's not inconsequential.
How many heat pumps are there?
And
Splits?
I have no idea. There's like, what, 16 in this building?
But you would not go to each head, you would go
Right,
to the
you'd go
central
to-
unit.
Right. So we can walk around the building, or are they on the roof?
Well, we must already have a plan.
Yeah, we can measure, we
also
can get the
plan,
demand, like the load
Okay.
profile from CMP, so we don't need to measure it ourselves. Yeah, so we'll be able to see
Okay.
where the peak load is.
Just a thought, so, okay, do we have a moment to adjourn? I don't know. So we'll second?
Second.
I guess we don't have anybody online now, so we can do a voice for you. Voice vote, is that right?
Voice vote.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
No, I want to stay here all night.
Night.
Okay.